Affair at work. A great way to ruin a career and family in one fell swoop. Drunk driving. I know a guy who had 6 DUIs before he turned 30. I don't understand how they kept giving him his license back. Some people should never be allowed to drive. Alcohol. My older brother had huge potential. Very smart, witty, and sociable guy. But now because of his chronic alcoholism, he's just a shell of a person. Impregnate the wrong woman. Yeah, I've seen successful guys fall so far that they take part-time jobs at the mall on weekends just to survive. Start using shit. Falling in love with the smell of white powder will rewind your life by 15 years. Don't do it, kids. And in general, nobody do it. Poor nutrition that leads to health problems. You can have 99 problems until you get one with your health, and then there's only that one left. Let your ego drive. Start sniffing cocaine in quantities that your income allows. Your demise will be swift. Honestly, it really is. My wife worked as a stock manager who got hooked on coke. Well, everyone on Wall Street has their privileges that few people talk about. Anyway, at some point, he decided it was perfectly normal to bang right during a Teams conference, which he himself was leading, with the microphone on and high. That's how you can lose a $350K a year job and end up on the unspoken blacklist of all companies. Surround yourself with the wrong people. I hear this often, but advice about your surroundings can lead to a dead end and ultimately lead to the wrong people. Sometimes the right people just don't want to be around you. And sometimes these right, ordinary careerists who will throw you away as soon as they get to the next level. Start playing old school RuneScape. Before you know it, you're already going into the shower with your phone to continue chopping down trees. Have children by several women. I know the story of one's hot manager from the company where I used to work. The guy married a girl he'd been dating since college. He had a good job, a house, 2 kids. A great life on paper, right? Wrong. He couldn't keep his bolt in his pants. His wife left. One of the mistresses got pregnant. He decided to do the right thing and marry her. That would have worked if he hadn't cheated again. The second wife also left. He decided not to marry again and just date. Got a new girlfriend. And again, the same story. Pregnancy. She moved in with him. Guess what? He kept cheating. You'd think he'd finally get smart and start using contraceptives, or at least learn to pull out in time. No, he knocks someone up again. This guy makes well over $500,000 a year, holds a high position, but because of alimony and payments, he complains that he can't afford the lifestyle he's used to. Gambling. This comment should be much higher on the list. Sports betting has become a real epidemic among young guys. Living beyond your means to impress people who don't really care. The fastest way from a 6-figure income to 6-figure debt. I know one such couple. The husband grew up in poverty but made it, became a teacher and coach. The wife is from a wealthy family, rich by most standards but average by those of her acquaintances. They moved to a good neighborhood so the kids could go to a good school, although they barely had enough money for it. And the neighbors there are really rich. And so it began. They started trying to keep up with the neighbors. Then he had an affair. She later confessed everything. One of the reasons she doesn't leave her husband is that she knows that she simply can't afford the usual lifestyle on her own. Doing what is expected of you, especially marrying the one you are brought to. Commit a criminal offense. When a man suddenly gets rich and starts thinking he knows everything, that's when his downfall begins. The wrong partner, showing off, and relationships I'm above everyone slowly destroy all areas of life. Money, friends, health, and even personality. Join Scientology. Take a microloan. Honk with all your might. Driving behind a column of Hell's Angels. Start handing out candy to kids from a van near the school. Tell the boss he doesn't understand anything. Impregnate 2 women at the same time. Pretend to be a tax officer. Get drunk and text your ex. get into a fight with Mike Tyson. Or indicate in your Tinder profile that you like Nickelback. Marry the wrong woman. Divorce throws you back 10 years. If there's a child, then 20 years. And there may be no pension for you anymore. Buy a Lego Bionicle set. A beginner's mistake. Buy an Warhammer 40K starter set. And watch as the whole world around you disappears. The most obvious things have already been mentioned here. Substances, alcohol, and so on. But they seem to have not talked about huge debts yet. Young people rarely think about this at all. My friends and I lived paycheck to paycheck, and some still live that way, decades later. It's very difficult to get out of this loop. Become obsessed with women. I'm terribly ashamed that I suffered for years under a person who didn't care at all. It doesn't even make sense. She didn't die. She just doesn't want to see me in her life. Trying to keep up with others. Imitating people you see on social media. Porn? Explain, please. What are you talking about? Excessive viewing of 18+ content can ruin your sex life. If you constantly watch someone who is not your partner get laid, you begin to devalue the sexuality and desire of your partner. Because for a dose of dopamine, it's easier for you to watch some big-ass Latina fake moan for 7 minutes. As a result, you simply stop paying attention to the real person next to you. Porn-related impotence may be a consequence of the fact that you are simply no longer aroused by the fact that there is a living person in front of you. You kind of want to F, but at the same time, you've already taught your brain to get aroused only by the screen and not the partner. Trying to forget yourself in alcohol, weed, or other substances instead of facing the problem head-on. I know from experience, LOL. Thinking that the end of a relationship is the end of life. The chemical reactions, dopamine, cortisol, and others that accompany relationships can be both addictive and destructive. Time heals, and too many young people break your life or give up, especially men. Over time, you'll definitely meet another girl, and most likely, she'll be better than the previous one. This is part of growing up, so be sure to live to see tomorrow. For everyone who is now suffering from lost love, please remember this. I'm 35 years old, I'm married, I have 2 children. I feel like I screwed everything up by selling the house and giving up the COVID mortgage. I always wanted a bigger plot and a pool for the kids, but we didn't need it. And now the payment has doubled, and the term is 30 years again. It used to be about 15% of the net income, and now it's almost 30%. I feel like a complete idiot. More than anything, I want to turn everything back. Cheating on your wife, especially if you have children. I've seen so many times how people have ruined their entire life for 5 minutes of pleasure. It's just stupid. Get into Harvard Medical School, and then as soon as you start working there, start stealing all sorts of goodies from the pharmacy. Get addicted to booze. Everything is fine in my career, but I can't get away from this damn bottle. And I don't even know why I drink at all. I don't even like alcohol anymore. I drink just so my hands don't shake. Get involved with the wrong woman. Good raises you, and toxic will destroy both your psyche and your financial situation. Anger and inability to control emotions. There are people who have nothing to lose. If you can't control yourself, deal with them. It's bad because it can end in serious problems. There are a lot of options here. Starting with the classic vices, gambling, women, substances, alcohol, plus a few particularly lucky situations. Marry a narcissist, get into business with scammers, or just get caught in the crossfire, for example, become a victim of an accident. There are no guarantees in this life. Cocaine and a woman of easy virtue, or marry a gold digger who is always dissatisfied with everything, cheats on you at every opportunity, and then file for divorce. In both cases, you will be alone, ruined, and broken. One of my relatives had a short fling with a girl. Short because she turned out to be crazy. His family has money, but he himself was financially literate and had accumulated a good nest egg. She knew about it. They broke up. A couple of months later, she claims that she's 6 months pregnant and it's his kid. Everything adds up in terms of dates. She has never worked and believes that he is simply obliged to pay her now. She said that she will contact him only when she gives birth.